Hi guys, welcome. We've got something really exciting today. We've got a live sword cutting demonstration. Okay, we'll get straight to it. A live sword cutting demonstration. Sensei Suino, 8th Dan Iaido, in his studies a 450-year-old sword style. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get him on. Let's get him on straight away because I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about the 450-year-old style of sword. And I'm also excited to see this demonstration live here. Rich Smith at Sport Nunchaku. Make sure to follow me, guys, and make sure you can follow me. So because what we've got to do is you've got to think about how important this is to study martial arts and how important it is to crack this important feeling in your life at the minute. So without further ado, let's get him on. Let's get Sensei Suino on. Hi, Sensei.
Hey, Rich. How are you, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Man, it's great here in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
So you're over there in USA, and we've got something massively interesting today. We're going to do a live sword demonstration. And you can see just behind you there. You can see just behind you. That's it. You can just see behind you there. Awesome. He's got his sword ready. We're ready to go. But first, before we do that, we're just going to have a quick chat about, firstly, why we're here. Because we're here to sort of promote the World Martial Arts Live event, the first ever 24-hour martial arts live seminar, which is on the 15th of May. 15th of May this year, so there's a couple of weeks to go, and we're here to promote that through doing the demonstrations. And we've had a few people on. We've had Mr. Bertoletti on, we've had Skalberg on from Sweden, we've got yourself on from the USA, and we also had we're going to have in the future another couple of guys on there. We're going to have 23 times world champion kickboxer, hopefully in the next couple of days. But today, what we're going to do is talk about sword, Iaido. Now, tell us a little bit about your background, if that's okay, Sensei, just to tell us a little bit about your background with the Iaido.
Yeah, Rich, as you know, I started studying martial arts in 1968 when very few people were alive. We used to throw stones at the dinosaurs on the way to the dojo. Still at it after all these years. In 1988, I moved to Tokyo, Japan, and I began studying Iaido with a guy named Yamaguchi Sensei, 75 years old, an amazing human being. He could silence an auditorium with his presence, the strength of his swordsmanship. I spent 4 years in Tokyo training in Iaido, and competed in the All Tokyo and All Japan tournaments. I was 4-time All Tokyo Iaido champion at my rank level. And since then, I've been back in the States. I go back to Japan periodically, but you know the story. Train every day, learn new things, make yourself better. Good diet, good sleep, good training, and practice, practice, practice.
Fantastic. I love it. And what I do love about that, Sensei, is the practice side. The practice side, because you have to practice. People say to me, practice makes. And I say, more practice. I don't say perfect. Right. Because there's always another level of perfection. So what I do is I say, practice makes, more practice. So if you want to be good at something, you want to be good at squash, you want to be good at football, you want to be good at table tennis, and even nunchaku. If you want to be good at sword, you've got to practice. You've got to practice, and make it the way of life, because it's just like doing something, it becomes second nature. And I like that. That's cool. But let's just talk briefly before we get into the sword. People joining us now, guys. We're going to do a live sword demonstration. You can see the sword behind it. This is Sensei Suino, his 8th Dan. I'm Rich Smith. at Sport Nunchaku on YouTube, and this is Sensei Suino 8th Dan Iaido, and he's going to do a demonstration, a live cutting demonstration in the next couple of minutes. So hang fire. But if we can just talk about this 450-year-old sword style, because I'm interested, and I think a lot of other traditional martial artists are interested in the jiu-jitsu side, and where the jiu-jitsu is, you see, because jiu-jitsu, you disarm the samurai, and it was said that you would go into the jiu-jitsu techniques, and all the jiu-jitsu techniques. So tell us just a little bit more about the 450-year-old sword style that you practice.
So around 450 years ago, there was a guy with a really long name. They call him Hayashizaki Jinsuke right now. And he went into the mountains to study, right, to reflect. He had been a samurai. He had studied battles. And he spent a year and a half in the mountains and got enlightened and created these forms. And that is essentially what's been passed down from student to teacher for 450 years. And today, the branch of that I study is called Musou Jikiden Asian New Iaido. It means unparalleled, pure faith, direct transmission, swordsmanship. It's
important to get that right, especially if people are watching, Sensei.
Right, you are.
Yeah, so I've studied a little bit of sword, nothing like what you've done. And the main part of the style I study is the cutting. So some are classed as, if I'm right, if I'm wrong, I don't know. I've only learned from my sensei. I've not from internet or anything else. So the cutting, this kata, and this for shot. So which does it fall into any of them?
Well, Asian New Iaido is 90% kata or forms, right? There are two-person bokken forms as well as solo forms with shinken or iaito. And then here at JMAC, we also do bokken fencing. It's inspired by traditional swordsmanship, but it's not taught traditionally. It's something that we created to get more distance, more agility, and more walnut-sized lumps on the side of our head.
Brilliant. Yeah, so I mean that sounds good. I mean 90%, 10%. And do you host any days where you do cutting days within your club or within your association?
We do 2 or 3 times a year where we do cutting tameshigiri. As you probably recall, it's a little burdensome. There's a lot of things to put together. You have to buy the tatami mats, soak them. We find about 3 times a year is good. We do it more than that. People get bored with it. Since the core of our art is forms, we just like to do it every now and then to make sure our cuts are strong, that we're lining the blade up correctly. And as you know, if you do it well, it's effortless. If you do it badly, it's like hitting the mats with a baseball bat. So it really does help you learn how to cut well.
You're probably bending quite a few swords on the beginners, though.
This is true. So we like to use the cheap swords for the beginners.
And just because I like swords, and people watching, I was lucky enough to use a 650-year-old sword in Okinawa when I trained with Sensei, and he got upset because I bent it a little bit. But then he's very, very good Sensei, very nice Sensei, very good. And he adjusted it and sorted it out with his foot, and as senseis, Japanese senseis are very cool like that. And just give me a funny look. But how old are the swords that you're using, and the weight sort of thing? I think people want to know about this as well.
Most of the time for cutting, we use modern manufactured Chinese swords, sometimes German swords. They're much less expensive, for $250 US to, the one that's sitting behind me and I'm used today is probably around $1,200 US, but it's a much nicer forged, folded steel blade. But if you get a decent shinken, a decent sword in Tokyo made by a Japanese smith, the least you're going to pay is $6,000 US, and you might pay 20 or 30 if they have a name. So the few really good swords I own, those are carefully put aside. I do not use those for cutting mats. We use something that you can use on a daily basis, a little more workmanlike tool.
I feel the same with my small collection, that I only just do a little bit with some, and then then I go, no, this is not happening with this one. And I'm thinking,
Right.
I'm really going to have to save some money or put my lessons up to get a really decent one, you know. Right, guys. So we've had a little chat. If you just joined us now, this is Sensei Suino, his 8th Dan Iaido, and he's going to be doing in a couple of minutes, just in a shoot, in 30 seconds, 40 seconds or so, he's going to be doing a live demonstration cutting. So, Sensei, this is the time. We're ready.
Absolutely.
We're ready. Good luck, Sensei.
Fun.
So I'm just going to put you on full screen and let you take it away. You won't be able to hear me from now on.
Excellent. Rich, I want to make sure you can see me okay. I'm seeing about half the screen over here.
Yes, Sensei, it's all good. Don't worry. Go for it. Go for it.
Great. All right, we're just going to show you some simple cuts, nothing fancy. Show you how well a nice sword works on tatami mats. Super fun.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. It was done here, guys. It was done here.
It goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. We've done here on YouTube. It's done here on Facebook. We're on a couple of Facebooks. It's done here. Well, that's absolutely amazing. Well done. And I'm sure everybody's happy to see that on the channel. And guys, what you got to remember that this guy is teaching on the World Martial Arts Live. Okay, and that's on the 15th of May. I'm doing some chucks. I'm going to be doing some nunchucks, some drill combat. If you want to get a tickets, you just got to give me a shout on Facebook there, on the Instagram. Send me a little message, and I can sort you out a dojo license as well, so you can sort your club out. But it's been proper amazing to have you on this show, and also a little bit last minute for me to get you to soak the tatami to give it that cut, you know. Brilliant. So, and you're going to be teaching it as well on I mean, that was just awesome. I'm just happy we got to see that, and you know, done it live, not on a video. But what stuff are you going to be teaching, Sensei? Are you going to be teaching that type of thing or not?
Well, of course, nobody has all this stuff at home, so we're going to teach some forms. They'll learn cutting well, and of course, if you learn Iaido properly, the cutting is natural and easy. If you don't, it can be really, really hard.
And just because obviously the nunchucks, guys, if you've got foam nunchucks, that's great. When you're going to be doing the drill combat with me, maybe a bit of freestyle, a bit of combat. But also, it's same for yourself. If they don't want to do the core, they want to do the training with you, they can cut down a broom, or they can cut down a brush and use that, Sensei, with you. And they can also, if they have a bokken, that's cool as well. But if no bokken, it's only cheap. You can buy the broom handle for cheap at your local DIY store. You can and you want it just to check for everybody. Just wants to be under your arm, the height of under your arm. Is that right, Sensei? You know the height if they're cutting one down?
Just about from the center of their palm to the opposite shoulder for the whole thing, cool. Blade and everything.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I'm just gonna. If you say that again, I'm gonna put you so everybody can see you. Just a sec.
If you're making yourself a stick or something to use as a sword, have it from the center of your palm, stretched to the opposite shoulder. That's everything. Blade, handle, entire length of the tool should be about that long.
Brilliant. So everybody knows what to do now. Go out and buy yourself a £3 stick and cut it down.
If you don't have it, work.
Yeah. Thank you, Sensei. It's been such a pleasure to have you on. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to working with you again and seeing you also on the World Martial Arts Live on the 15th of May. Fantastic.
Fantastic, Rich. I can't wait.
Thank you. Arigato gozaimasu. And we'll do some chucks as well. Hi.
Rock and roll.
Excellent. Thank you, Sensei. See you soon. See you. Brilliant, guys. So we did it here. YouTube. Sport Nunchaku YouTube. So we're on Sport Nunchaku, but what I'm trying to do, guys, is help promote over martial arts and other people around the globe. So, guys, remember, if you want to get a ticket, you just got to, like I say, you can go onto the at Sport Nunchaku and get yourself a dojo license through me. And also, guys, remember, have a great day, have a safe day, and we'll see you next time.